Hello everyone. So attic rooms are a great addition to a Sims house. You can use it for storage, you can use it as a spare room, you can use it as a teen hangout, or maybe a man cave for dad, or a hideaway for mom to get away from the kids, her own little space. And I mean, it's also great for storytelling. There's lots of storytelling ideas with attics. You could have a runaway teen hiding in your attic that no one knows about, or you could have a whole family living in your attic. I mean, there's many storytelling ideas with attic. You could have a haunted attic. So I know of 3 different ways to make an attic room. Unfortunately, 2 of these ways you do have to play with the walls down, completely down. You have to use the walls down view. Alright, so I have my 2 Sims here. It's a father and son. It's Mario and his teen son Angelo. So I thought I would give Mario and Angelo an attic room. Maybe it could be a study for Angelo for studying for high school. So let's go into build mode. Alright, so the first way to build an attic is to make sure that your walls are down. So use the walls down view. And this is probably the quickest and easiest way to build an attic. I don't have move objects on at the moment, and this still works for me, but you might find if you do this, you might have to use move objects on. So if this way doesn't work for you, try it with the move objects on cheat. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is some stairs or a ladder. So I'm going to use a ladder, seeing as there's not much space to place stairs over here. Alright, so now we have a ladder to our attic room, and we are going to make this into a study area. So we are going to need a desk. Alright, do we have money for a chair? There we go. And I think we'll probably have wooden floors in the attic. And as soon as you put your walls up, you are not going to be seeing the attic, so you will have to play with walls down view. Alright, Angelo, come and use the computer. I think you can probably study for an exam. There we go. And here we go. Here he is climbing up the ladder, and he's going to come and use the computer. So if you wanted to make it a little bit more cozy, you could use half walls to surround this area. Oh, here comes Dad as well. He's coming to check to make sure that Angelo's doing his homework and studying for the exam. Alright, so let me just cheat their money quickly, because for some reason they have no money. Let's just place some half walls. So I think a standard half wall is probably going to cut into the roof. Let's just check. So you can make the attic a little bit more cozy with a half wall, but let's just make sure it does not. Okay, so the standard half wall clicks into the roof, and if we increase the roof heights, okay, there we go. Alright, so we've made the area a little bit more cozy with a half wall, and I see with this way you can actually play with the walls cutaway view, but you cannot play with the walls up. So you either have to play with walls down or walls cutaway. So that is the first, that's probably the quickest and easiest way to make a attic room. Alright, so the second way to build an attic room is you want to start off with no roof. So I'm just going to delete this. Alright, so you've got an area over here. You want to use a gabled roof on either side. And I'm going to turn it around and make it 1 tile. And stretch it across, and then I'm going to copy this and place it on the other side as well. And then you're going to use a half gabled roof. Let's just turn that around, and you want to make that as also as small as possible, 1 tile wide, and stretch it across. Alright, and you want to copy that and on the other side as well. Alright, so now you have a space in your roof. And what we're going to do is take one of the gabled roofs, and this arrow here, you're going to press shift and hold this arrow and bring it across. And then you can do that with the other side as well. And that just brings the eave across, so you still have an area with a room. So this is going to be our attic room. So the first thing I'm going to do is place a ladder, or you can place stairs. And then again, we'll just make it a study area for Angelo. So we need a computer as well. I should have just put this stuff into the family inventory instead of deleting it all. But anyway. Alright, Angelo, are we going to See if this is functional. Come on. Alright, so you've done some homework. I'm going to let you play a game. Play Sims Forever. There you go. Oh, okay. With this method, you can actually use the walls up view. Alright, I do have a little bit of clipping here because I didn't extend the roof enough on that side. But it looks like you can actually get the feeling of having, this actually looks like a skylight. But you could use a few roof pieces and decorate it with whatever you want to before you place the furniture. I just did this very quickly, that's why it looks like it's incomplete. But nice to know that with this one you can actually use the walls up view, although it is a bit annoying. And again, I haven't used the move objects on sheet for this. Alright, Angelo, time to delete all this stuff and show the third way of making an attic room. Alright, come on. It looks like Mario's making his way up the stairs. Mario, do you like these attic rooms? Or you just coming to check on your son? Alright guys, come on, you need to go downstairs. Why don't you come and watch some TV? Come on, watch a movie together. There you go. So we can demonstrate the third way to make an attic room. The third way to build an attic room is to start with no roof. And you are going to build a room. So I'm going to keep it quite small. There we go. And then you are going to use your half-hipped roof and place the straight edge sides against the wall of the room. So you're going to need 4 of these, and you're just going to have to use the arrows to line them up and make sure they are flush against the wall and make sure they're not poking into the room. So just make sure you do take them back quite a bit. Again, lining them up. You can just use the arrows to pull them up slightly. And one more. And then you can just add a hipped roof on top just to complete. Or you don't have to. You could, if you wanted to, you could place some roof decorations. If you don't want to have you could place a roof sculpture instead of a roof. Sometimes these look quite nice and you can place them on the edge. But I'm going to use this hipped roof. And there we go. Or even after that, if you don't like this funny little roof trim that's hanging over here, you could, actually these might look a bit better. You could place some of these. I'm not going to use these. Alright, so now we have another attic room. And this one, you do not need to play with the walls cut away. Let's just place our ladder and our furniture. Oh, where did this chair come from? Did it? I don't know why the game does that. It took this chair away. Alright, so now we have to use the move objects on sheets. I haven't had to use it the whole game, but now for some reason it won't let me place that chair. Alright, there we go. So we can actually put a light in here. So that is the third way to make an attic room. That's probably the most aesthetically pleasing and quite easy to decorate. Angelo, come and study for exam again. So all 3 attic rooms are accessible for your Sims. This is the first time with this method that I had to use the move objects on sheet. With the previous 2 I didn't have to. So those are the 3 ways that I know how to build an attic room. If there are any other ways, please let me know in the comments section. It's always nice to know of different ways to create things in The Sims 4. So if you do know of another way to create an attic room, please let me know. Bye Angelo, bye Mario, see you next time.